A town of rolling surf and seaside cocktail shacks that represents the cultural kingpin of Hawaii as a whole, this Polynesian-flavored American state capital rarely fails to impress. The likes of Elvis and Doris Duke rested here, following the traditions of the Hawaiian kings and queen themselves. And what a place it is to rest! The sands of Waikiki fuse lively drinking dives and laid-back beach vibes while the rugged peaks of volcanoes and extinct craters rise on the horizon. There are also Chinese eateries to rival Shanghai, fascinating museums, and sobering memorials remembering Hawaii's place right at the center of the Pacific War. Today we share the top 10 best things to do in Honolulu so you can plan a trip and experience all the exciting attractions and activities this beautiful city has to offer. Starting with number 10, Waikiki Beach. It's hardly surprising that the world-famous Waikiki Beach once drew the kings and queens of the Hawaiian archipelago to its sands. It was here, where today the shimmering rises of luxurious hotels loom against the turquoise waters of the Pacific, that the first longboards were ridden by the island's nobles back in the 1800s. At the same time, the legendary Duke Kahanamoku also shredded the swells of Waikiki and now even has his memorial between the palm tree groves. At number 9 is the USS Arizona. The most visited memorial in Hawaii, the USS Arizona Visitor Center juts its way out into the waters of Pearl Harbor on the northeastern fringes of Honolulu. The museum can only be accessed by boat and offers travelers a glimpse of the destruction the Japanese attacks of December 1941 wreaked on the American naval fleet. One area, the assembly room, offers bird's-eye views over the submerged deck, while the shrine part of the site contains a sobering and thoughtful memorial to both the dead and the survivors. At number 8, the USS Bowfin Submarine Museum. Offering just a glimpse of what life was like for U.S. seamen during the years of conflict between 1942 and 1945 and the days of the Korean War, when the USS Bowfin was recommissioned to bulk up the Allied naval fleet, this immersive museum piece in the waters of Pearl Harbor is certainly not to be missed. Visitors walk through the mess rooms and corridors, onboard living quarters, and control rooms, all with a recorded audio guide. There's also a sobering memorial to all American submariners lost during the Second World War. At number 7, the glorious Iolani Palace. The ancestral home of the revered Kalakaua dynasty sits amid downtown Honolulu. It contrasts with the modern builds. This 19th-century palace oozes of Francophone, Italianate charm from each of its terraces, and Baroque-cum-classical nooks and crannies. It was built by the monarch David Kalakaua, who traveled to Europe, Asia, and Africa for inspiration for his grand project. Later, the palace was where American troops first raised the stars and stripes to signal Hawaii's annexation to the U.S. At number 6 in our list, the Diamond Head State Monument. Looming in sinewy, volcanic ridges high above the downtown and bustling coastal strips of central Honolulu, the Diamond Head State Monument is one of the most iconic sights on the skyline of Aloha State's capital. It's thought that this recognizable landmark formed when a great cinder cone on the edge of the Kula mountain range burst 200,000 years ago, spewing magma and rock out to create the rugged ridges and craters seen today. Many hikers wax their walking boots and make for the maintained trail that carves along the edge of Diamond Head. At number 5, the Battleship Missouri.
On September 2, 1945, a delegation of Japanese politicians and generals headed by Foreign Minister Mamoru Shigemitsu stepped aboard the USS Missouri.
They came to sign the official surrender documents to end the Second World War. And that's just one of the totemic historical moments that this hulking colossus of an ocean frigate has seen throughout its illustrious days at sea. It's also fought in 3 global conflicts, from the Pacific Theater to the Middle East. At number 4, the Hanauma Bay Nature Preserve. This protected bay that sits in the shadow of the Great Kula mountain range on the southern tip of Oahu Island can be easily reached from the downtown streets of Honolulu. Sparkling with turquoise hues and blooming underwater coral gardens, the preserved little enclave of Hawaiian nature is peppered with the occasional coconut palm and cut through by the Kalanianaole Highway. That brings booming crowds of more than 3,000 people daily in the high season, all eager to don the snorkels and swim in the shallows. At number 3 in our list, the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific. Sat in the bottom of the Punchbowl crater that looms above the northeastern side of Honolulu's bustling downtown, the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific enjoys its little enclave of calmness and quiet in the capital. They come to pay their respects to all those who fought and died in the Pacific Theater, fighting in conflicts from World War I to the Korean War and Vietnam. This is also the site of the Honolulu Memorial, which displays the names of all the soldiers missing in action during some of America's bloodiest engagements. At number 2, the Koko Crater Trail. The Koko Crater trailheads start on the city's southern fringes, weaving their way up the volcanic foothills of the Kula Mountains and above the waters of beautiful Hanauma Bay. Rising against the streets of Portlock, this nature reserve is home to spiked cacti and sun-baked paths. The trail follows the disused train tracks that climb the ridges here, weaving between the scrublands and rocks before opening up to 360-degree views of the southeastern Oahu coast and even the sheer-cut cliffs of Molokai Island in the distance. Check out the number 1 places in our list: Shangri La, Honolulu. The Mansion of Shangri La is a modern twist on the arabesque that sits in the shadow of Honolulu's iconic Diamond Head. With an introduction like that, you can see why so many travelers make a beeline to this curious construction, built at the behest of the moneyed American philanthropist and heiress Doris Duke. Inside, the architectural features fuse the styles of Iran and Egypt, taking inspiration from Isfahan's carved domes and calligraphy and the babbling waterways common in the Mughal gardens of Pakistan and India. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite things to do in Honolulu? Is there something we missed? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to Greenable if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.